So I really wanted to document this part of my journey. For many of you that may be on my Instagram page or have been on my website or know me personally, probably have known that movement has always been a huge part of my life. It has helped me unlock so many capabilities that I never ever thought were possible, through just exploring getting the most we can out of our body. And I'm so grateful, before I go into this, to actually give credit and kudos to my amazing movement teachers, to Josh, to Rach, to Jen and Rod out of the Movement Collective, to Soishi, Ido Portal and his work for helping me understand my body better from the inside out. I was somebody who was always so used to pushing in the gym, always looking for more, always searching for heavier weight, always going to the gym to thrash herself and to burn the calories and to sweat and to hammer my body, punish my body sometimes even. And I did that for years. 30 years was like how I moved. I went in to rip into the body more without understanding it or trying to nourish it or help it move better. I was constantly injured. My nervous system was constantly in this chronic state of like fight, flight. I'd go back in the day from working in the radio industry, 9 to 5 or whatever the rest of the hours are, into then high intensity CrossFit classes or functional training, so to speak, that was like cooking my body, but more so cooking my nervous system. And what was happening and what I didn't realize at the time is that inside all of this, we have this incredible web of fascia and connective tissue. And if this area in our body becomes tense and tight and locked on and cranky, then we are going to consistently become injured. And not just that, the nature of our thoughts and how we think about ourselves and our movements get stuck into these looping patterns of never feeling enough, always wanting more, always searching for perfection, and never happy with where we are, so we might end up like what I did, of constantly looking in the mirror and constantly looking for a number on our macros or calorie counter or a dress size, but never ever happy with where it is, because we are constantly living in this state of just tension. And I'm going to do something I haven't actually done in a long time. I kind of did this when I went into my yoga journey, but I've been kind of the last couple of months, the last 6 months or so, I've been very much trying to lean into where I want to go next without rushing it. I'm, as I said, grateful for my knowledge that I've learned from my incredible teachers and the wisdom that we already have inside of us that constantly directs us back to our body, No one can help you but you. And we are the only ones that hold the information, the knowledge, and the wisdom to move forward with what we know to create better movement from the inside out. And everything always happens as it's meant to happen. And I believe the journey that I have been on, from spending nearly 20, 30 years in disordered eating to working in the fitness industry since I was 19, to get out of the fitness industry and move into movement teaching, in my mid-30s or earlier, and also do my yoga journey, has now led me into a path where I'm so excited to explore the possibility of doing less and what that can actually do for the fascia, for the autonomic nervous system, and also for our creativity and for our longevity. So it's the 1st of December. I'm actually on a 3-day water fast. I always try to fast seasonally. And it's really good too, because I'm right at the start of my cycle too. So it's perfect timing. This is sort of day 1 or day 2 of my bleed. And it's a really great time to also bring in some fasting. So I'm on a 3-day water fast to just help reset the system. So I do this to clear out any armor or toxicity that builds up in our bodies over time. And that can be stuff like social media, EMFs from our phone, heavy metals that we're ingesting, It can also be people and environments, and of course our stress levels that cause toxicity to build up into the body. And of course that means that the mechanism, the mechanics of the body is not working properly, which means that we're not eliminating waste properly. And that's where we're on the journey to inflammation, sickness, and dis-ease. So every 3 months I always do a fast for those reasons. I get incredible mental clarity out of it, and it really invites me into a really nice playful space, but it also causes the body that beautiful opportunity to just rest and slow down and to pause. But I'm going to be taking a bigger pause from doing any of the strength-based stuff that I have been doing. So I recently just stopped a movement that I was doing. I was kind of doing it for 6 months or so, and I've just paused it for a bit to let my body reset. I'm moving into learning a lot about fascial maneuvers and ways that we can help our fascia be healthier. For many of us, and from what I see in so many years of working with clients online and one-on-one in person and in groups, is that so many people are getting injured because the fascia in their body is not healthy and it's calcified, meaning that we go and do strength-based movements on top of unhealthy fascia. You're on the path to injury, but you're also on the path to inflammation. So our fascia is this incredibly interesting and intelligent organ that for many of us we don't even think about. But as you guys know, I do a lot of work with the polyvagal theory and the autonomic nervous system. And whenever our nervous system is cued into its threat response, so either fight, flight, or freeze or fawn, that's meaning that the fascia underlying everything, so the fascia encompasses everything. It surrounds our muscles, our organs, the joints and the bones. And if this fascia is constantly like gripping and grabbing on, right, what happens is it calcifies, and that means that our bodies are not going to move very well, and again, hence we're on the way to injury. But for many of us, and myself included, we might go and move with an unregulated nervous system, meaning that there's already a locking on happening underneath the skin, and then we go and do all these high intensity moves. There's nothing wrong with the high intensity movements, but if your nervous system is like already up here and you go and throw yourself into more aggressive based movements, then unfortunately what's going to happen is you're going to end up with the back pain. You're going to end up with really cranky knees and cranky hips because the fascia is not allowing you to move. The best way I've heard this described is to think about a sausage casing. The guys from the Human Garage talk it this way, and it's so interesting. And it's like the fascia is surrounding like the muscle, so to speak, right? And the organs, as I said, and the bones and things like that. So when the fascia or the sausage casing is under tension or stress, right? So we might be living in a chronic state of fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Then what happens is there's not going to be a lot of movement because the sausage casing is keeping all that meat in there or that muscle in there. So you might even have a problem with your muscles growing because the fascia is just gripping on so tight. And then we go to try to do all these movement-based patterns and it just literally rips. And that's a lot of the time what we see with plantar fasciitis as well. So my little journey, and hence why I'm documenting this to you guys, is over the next 30 days, I'm really backing off my own strength training. I'm still going to be practicing my skill work, so still working on like my single leg work, any of the gymnastics based movements and handstands and things like that, but really focusing on fascial maneuvers, and I'll be doing that through Human Garage. So I'm so grateful to have, I've been following these guys a long time, and I can't wait to move into the fascial maneuvers, the fascia work in 2026, which is where I'll be going for my online work and in person next year. So it's December 1, I'll be taking 30 days to help my body reset, to clear out any toxicity that's in there, to help my fascia let go and release tension, which again is going to allow me to get out of a little bit of hip pain that I've been experiencing, to sleep better. And I'm just honestly really curious about how it feels to do less, not more, especially in the time of a season that demands a lot of heat. It is a pitta season, it is a fire season. And our job is not to add more fire to fire, okay? So I'm really big on backing it off in summer, going out and having fun, letting your body feel good, and moving from the inside out. So I wanted to document over these next 30 days about my journey with this, about actually stepping away from doing more strength-based stuff and more fascia-based movements, to see how I feel. So I would love to, to hear from you guys. Feel free to ask any questions. If you want to know more about fasting, I highly encourage sending you over to one of my beautiful friends, Rachel Poll, and her business, Nourish, Fast, Thrive. I'll put her details down into the comments. Especially females and fasting, we need to be very different from males when we're fasting. We also need to add in our feasting as well. But there's so much benefit to giving the body a rest, so to speak, and letting it heal itself. You have everything you need inside of you to heal. No one else is ever going to do it for you. And that's why I've decided myself to actually really dive into this work and spend time on it, like we would spend time learning to play the guitar or learning to do a handstand. It's exactly the same thing, and to see how my body responds over 30 days. So I'm super, super excited to go into this journey, and if you'd like to know any questions, then feel free to ask down below in the comments. And if you're not yet already, jump on over to my Instagram, Move Like Water Collective, and very, very soon my new website, movelikewatercollective.com.au, will be up with coaching programs and online content, as in online recorded courses for your feet, your hips, your knees and your spine, nervous system regulation tools, and also yin yoga that you can practice at any time. So I'd love to hear from you guys. I'm excited to go into this journey, and you'll be able to find the updates, not only of my fasting, but also just working through the fascia and the fascia work that I'm doing over the next 30 days. And if you're interested to know more, just get in touch.